Okay, so I have a quick question for you guys before we get started on this. How do you think I would look with like short hair? I mean, I know like my hair is like wet because I showered not that long ago and probably looks ugly right now, but like I swear when it dries it looks better than this. But do you think I can pull it off? I've always liked it when my hair was shorter. I don't know why. I just always have. That's just I don't know. Anyway, so I haven't uploaded a video in like a week, more than a week. I don't really know. But this is a video I've been meaning to make and post, so I decided I'm finally going to do it since I already made the list like a while ago. So I'm like, hey, maybe I should actually make the video now. So this is basically a list of all the books I want to read next year. And the first ones I mentioned are like the certain like I have to read these no matter what. I'm going to at the very beginning of the year. And so some of these shouldn't be a surprise, and I think you all will support me on this. So I just finished the Percy Jackson series not that long ago, so of course the first ones on my list are the Heroes of Olympus series, which are The Lost Hero, Son of Neptune, Mark of Athena, House of Hades, and Blood of Olympus, and I'm sure you all know that, unless you just have had nothing to do with these books, and if you haven't, then you probably should read them. And the next ones on here are like, I know you all read these like years ago, but at least I'm doing it now instead of never. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows. Did anyone else feel like really proud when they were a young child and they were able to like memorize the names of the books in order? I mean, I was pretty proud considering I hadn't read them and I like knew them in order. The next ones on here are ones that have kind of just like been on my book list forever, and I'm just like, I should actually read these. I've had a couple friends who read them, said they were good, and they're big books, so that makes me want to read them, more. I like big books, and I cannot lie. Okay, so they are Aragon, Eldest, Brisingr, and Inheritance. I'm not sure if I said the third one right. Oh well. And the next one is a trilogy that at first I was like, oh, okay, I'll read it. And now just like, I don't know what it is. I had a friend who read it, and I think I know other people have read it, and I'm just like, I should read these books. And they're Selection, The Elite, and The One. And I've heard the last one wasn't really good, but I'm taking my chance anyway. The next one is a series I've wanted to read since it came out, and it just like came out last year. Like the second book just came out this year, which is The Fifth Wave and The Infinite Sea. I'm guessing there's going to be a third one because there's like no book series. That's just the first and second book. The next one is Atlantia by Ali Khandi. I think I pronounced that right. I read the Match trilogy by her and really liked it, so. The next one is, well, I don't remember what the title was, but it's the book that Mary Lou, who wrote the Legend trilogy, she just released a book, so I thought I'd read that. Echoes of Us, third book in Hybrid Chronicles, Winter, and Levana's Story, which are both part of the Lunar Chronicles. And Levana's Story comes out January 7th of next year, I believe. Rule of Thoughts and Game of Lives, second and third book of The Eye of Minds by James Dashner. Messenger, Gathering Blue and Sun, which are the other books in the Giver Quartet by Lois Lowry. The Darkest Minds Never Fade, and the third book that I don't remember what that's called. That's also another series I kind of wanted to read since like I first saw the first book. I'm just like, ooh, that looks interesting, and I just never got to it. Ender's Game. I saw the movie like in the summer, and I've wanted to read the book ever since, and I just haven't done it. But it's probably good because if you read the book right after you see the movie, it just like, you just remember everything, and it's just not as special, and that's what I did with The Book Thief, and I kind of wish I hadn't. I'm glad I've waited a while for this. 13 Reasons Why, and ever since I've heard about this book, I've wanted to read it because it just seems really interesting, and it's about a serious topic that has been very familiar in my life. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. It's been around. I know people who, yeah. The next is the Starter series by Lisa Price, I think. I didn't write the author's name down, but I had a friend who said this was like better series than Hunger Games and Divergent combined, so I'm like, oh, well, I better read that, because those are like two of my favorite series right there. And I read what it's about, and I'm like, alright, I'll give that a shot. The fourth Michael Vey book, which I believe is called, like, The Jade Dragon or something. I'm currently reading the third one after reading the first and second one, like, forever ago. And I'm glad I didn't forget, like, everything that happened. Next is The Red Pyramid, Serpent Shadow, and Throne of Fire, which is the trilogy by Rick Riordan. Next is Artemis Fowl, and I just wrote down the first one, because I've always, like, been like, hey, maybe I should try that out, but, I don't know what I'll think of it. It's not like I pictured it this way. I heard once what it was about, and the title enough seems a reason to pick that book up. The next is called The List, and if you don't know what that is, go to Barnes & Noble. You can probably find it really easily in the teen section, and it's pretty interesting. It's about these people who the popular people who make a list of, like, the prettiest person in each grade and, like, the ugliest person from each grade, which, of course, is totally mean. Next is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I'd rather not explain this one. There's not really much to explain. It's just one of those titles that get me. Next is Rumble by Ellen Hopkins. And, I haven't even read any reviews of it, but just reading what it's about, I've really been interested in it. Revenge of Seven by Pittacus Lore, which is the fifth book in the Iron Number 4 series, or the Lorien Legacies, but I doubt many people call it that. I read The Fall of Five a while ago, and I really need to read Revenge of Seven. Hopefully I can just do that at the end of this year. And then eventually, when the sixth Lorien Legacies book comes out, I'll read it. Next is a trilogy called The Testing. You've probably, if you've gone to Barnes & Noble, it's probably like, they have its own, like, little section there, so I'm like, okay. If I Stay, not really an explanation needed for this one. An Abundance of Catherines. When I read The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, I was kind of like, oh, okay. But when I read the back of this, I was just like, that's unique. Like, when have you ever seen a character who's been just trying to date girls named Catherine, it's found, like, 19 of them, and got broken up? Special job. Next is a Christian book series, like Leaving, Learning, Longing, Loving. And my mom read it, and I got spoiled on a lot, but I still want to read it, so yeah. It's the fact that I've gotten spoiled on something and still want to read it just shows how good I think it'll be, and how good she says it is. Next I put Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn. I don't know if I'll actually get to it or not, but everyone's read it. I'm just like, I should just try. I can't stop the curiosity. And I don't want to, like, say a stance on it, and if I haven't even read it yet, like, it just doesn't seem right. Next is Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess, which is the prequel trilogy to the Mortal Instruments series. I haven't read the Mortal Instruments series. I might as well put that series on here too, though I'm not really sure. I've heard really good things about the Infernal Devices, as the prequel series is called, so I thought, what the heck. Next one is God's Not Dead, which is kind of a non-fiction book, and it gives, like, sort of evidence to God's existence and stories and such. Next is Frozen, which, when I first saw in the library, I'm like, what, is this the movie they put into a book or something? But it isn't, though it seems sort of similar. I'm hoping it'll be different. Then I just put some extras just in case I finish this list, though this has more books on it than I've even read this year. But I think I'll be a faster reader next year, because throughout this year being like slow, fast sort of thing. So for extras, I put Don't Turn Around and Don't Look Back, which I found at a book fair, and it looks so good, so I'm just like, I want to read this. Next, I put Bitter Blue, Fire, and Graceland, which is, like, not really a trilogy, because it's like, there's one book, and then there's, like, a companion novel and a sequel novel, or something like that. And I don't really know what it is that made me interested in it, but just, like, I always, like, saw it in the library, and just, like, it's always been on my book list. Like, I have hundreds of books on my book list. Of course, it's not going to all go right away. So, I pick and choose and put, my priorities to my lower priorities. And that's basically what you've seen here. And then, of course, the Bible that I read every day, all year long. Except for, on Saturdays and Sundays. Sometimes I just forget and such. Plus, I go to church on Sundays. That's, my Bible reading time, practically. So, yeah, thank y'all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever the heck you feel like doing. Feel free to ask me any questions. God bless you, and bye-bye.